Hello, my name is Dylan Tete. I arrived in Ukraine on Friday and have been having way too much fun. I love this country and I love the people here. I'm joined by my colleague Jen Blatty. We are both combat veterans, which qualifies us as being experts in finding trouble. I wanted to hike the Carpathian Mountains, but Jen wanted to go to Donbass, so I listened to Jen, we go to Donbass. And wow, it was like oxygen in my blood. It really was. We went and hung out with some military volunteers from the Right Sector movement, and what an incredible group of people. I stood in a fighting position along the front and could hear gunfire over here in the distance. I could smell the gunpowder from an exploded 82mm mortar that was there 5 days ago. And it occurred to me, not then, but later, that I was probably my most relaxed self and one with the universe while I was there. And that's something I think that's kind of incredible. It was the least stress I've experienced than really living my life at home. And I think I share that anecdote for two reasons. Number one, I already said it, you have an incredible network of passionate and very capable men and women who are fighting. And we interviewed 3 volunteers on the front, and I asked them, why do you fight? And they said, in order, liberty, freedom, and protect my home. And I just can't tell you how refreshing that was to my ears. I don't know, I forgot what that was like, I guess. But the second reason is why I share this anecdote is this practice of war is probably, in my opinion, the most extreme version of world making. I deployed in Iraq, and what I took away from that experience was that I was very good at world making. That is to say, I thrived in chaos. I was actually my best self during chaotic moments. Number two, I could juggle multiple efforts all at the same time and could partner with others to overcome some really challenging situations. I think since 2005, I have thrust my body into this process of world making, which is very physical. It's a very physical process. I think my mind and my spirit have been trying to catch up ever since. But world making is shaping and molding the contours of the land and its inhabitants to achieve a common goal, a stated objective. In 2012, the Bob Woodruff Foundation and the Wounded Warrior Project gave me the seed funding to quit my civilian job and work full-time on a project called Bastion. And if you want to take your pen and write this out, or your smartphone, and on your English keyboard type out joinbastion.org, joinbastion.org. We have successfully built the first of its kind in the United States, an intentional community for returning warriors and their families. And if you were to look at it with your naked eye, it's this beautiful neighborhood that's about 2 city blocks. It's 5.5 acres, so about 2 city blocks, with these gorgeous live oak trees. We built 19 double family homes, so that's 38 housing units, apartment homes. And we have so far 76 residents, including 29 children. I can tell you we are learning a lot together about lots of different things. We are confronting all of the challenges associated with post-traumatic stress, traumatic brain injury, which is the signature wound from the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, anxiety, depression, military sexual trauma is something else that we're overcoming at Bastion. And I can tell you with a high degree of certainty that our residents are expressing to us a strong sense of belonging. They are rediscovering themselves. They're finding a new identity and finding fresh purpose. And I will tell you, you can do a lot with just those three ingredients. You can change the world with sense of belonging, identity, and purpose. I predict, we only just opened last year, I predict in another 10 to 12 months, our residents will begin to make successful life course transitions, and then in maybe 5 to 7 years later, we will begin to shift the paradigm from professional clinical back to the community itself as the first line of support and care on a daily basis. As a condition of living at Bastion, every resident gives 6 hours of service to help support their neighbor, to get to know them. The whole model is created around this idea that through active engagement, we can incubate meaningful relationships that can endure for a lifetime. And for someone who may have a traumatic brain injury, for example, that's everything. That is the other half of the equation that the medical system cannot write a prescription for. And so, in closing, I guess I will ask, what kind of world are you making here in Ukraine? I think you already know. I think you've got a great handle on that. But what I challenge you to do is really hold the space with your veterans who are just this tremendous asset that can be leveraged to build a better world. Thank you. Appreciate it. David.